This is my video log on my animatic for the client. It is very long, it's about 2 minutes and 5 seconds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it and talk over the top. If you want to watch it without me talking over it, there is a copy of it up as well. It will look different to this because the sound in this went really badly in Premiere. I don't know why. It's happened in 2 studios at the university where this problem happens. I don't know if it's exporting it out differently or what, but it's massively noticeable, so you will definitely hear it, and it's really annoying. And it might mean that now in future I might have to edit at home instead of at the university because every time I export this problem happens. So I'll play through it now. So this really, I really like the contrast with the colours at this point. It's really bright, colourful, and then really quite the oranges for. Okay, that's the annoying sound that keeps happening. I don't know why, but I'll have to cut it out, and I may not even need the machine gun noises in at that point, so I might be able to take that out. But I really like the aesthetics of it and the different styles, and kind of use a lot of different kind of with the colour and semiotics, which I quite like. So this being really bright, and where the other one's quite dark colours, this is a happy emotion time and celebrating like watching the baseball game. So it was kind of how dark it is here, massive contrast to do towards her emotion. And with the skin being where the toxins of the ammunition in the factories would affect so she's really ill and having kind of her bones showing. And then as time goes on with her now leaving to go back to Belgium, you see in her face she doesn't really have the bones anymore. She's getting better, but still she's got the yellowy skin because it's not great. And also it was when her son dies, and that shot I thought was a really kind of transition through to it. The other thing about that shot, the only problem is that with my feedback, a lot of people say that they look like lovers rather than friends, so they look like they're actually in a relationship and friends, which is what I really wanted to portray. So that's something that was something I don't know whether to change with the shot, but I really like the shot, and it will look really good in the animation and in this to kind of have that transition from one to the other of kind of, oh no, just leaving, and then the audience kind of, oh no, oh the son's died, and kind of that emotional transition of going from worse to worse, and then her husband being an alcoholic to even worse, and it really doesn't end on a happy note. And then also with the colours at the end with the flower, where at the end, because it's all quite dark, the brightest thing on the shot is the flower, and having that kind of semiotics with the colour. And I think, as I said, learning about cinematography and how I can put it towards animations, use it for semiotics, use it to portray story. I think it's something really good and really nice to kind of experiment with it a lot more and to try out a lot more with colour. And with this shot here, I think it works really well. It would be a lot longer in the animation, but it's kind of show that she wasn't alone with the illness, that all the women in the factories had it. It wasn't just her. Also, I think in the animated there's a shot missing, where kind of like you go from her being at work to then, oh, football game, where did this football game come from? And how actually happens is that it's her British friend, the blonde woman, who is actually playing football and invites her to come along. So I think some kind of shot or some kind of small scenes to kind of show them kind of meeting up and both saying, "Oh, I'm playing football." And then luckily, when she's playing football, the war's over. And even with the costume as well, where going from something like this to kind of bright, colourful clothing, really short hair, and kind of portraying it more into the costumes just here, and using it with different shots where we had this shot before at the beginning with the baseball game here, and then having it again here, to kind of show that the same thing but after the war, and show that it is kind of like show the difference within using the shots and with costume and with colour and with items as well, the cigarette. And also where, if you notice with this shot, you can tell with the sign saying "Welcome Belgium" and this being here and her offering her cookies, because a lot of the British citizens gave them gifts when they came over, and also kind of a lot of the people that were at the Iceland would be quite rich to kind of go there and visit them all. The only kind of people that are quite poor would be the people actually local to the actual harbour. So I decided to kind of help the rich people that more likely would be in colours, and then the more kind of non-coloured, like people in kind of more grey and black, kind of these symbolises the poor people, and kind of also with the Belgian characters with her being in black, and then some of them being kind of like these guys here shaking hands with Belgian people in different clothing to portray that these are the Belgian characters in the background and that these are the British people, and then you've got these characters here talking, and you've got soldier here to make sure everything's all safe and that they got there safely. But using this shot and then using the same kind of shot here where she's leaving, and that was kind of just to portray that she is leaving. But also another one is with the red shoes, and there's Wizard of Oz reference of "No Place Like Home" as she leaves as well, and also with just having to go with different kind of colours with dresses and more kind of the skin showing, because they did wear short dresses compared to where in the other shots their legs are completely covered, and showing the difference between during the war and after the war, with obviously appearance, which the client did heavily want, and also just subtly, because I really like putting in those kind of subtle things like I said, all the dark colours surrounding. Then you've got this really bright flower here, and the flower represents hope, and the fact that it's the same colours as the one at the beginning is something I found is really nice to put in there and to portray. Also, another thing that I really liked was with the orange. I really wanted to put this in because of the kind of danger of war, and that she's not safe, and that this is the escort to take to the United Kingdom, and the sudden impact of nice, bright and colourful, happy, and then not so bright and colourful, happy as a bomb goes off in the air raids come in. But I am quite aware of the drawings, especially stuff like this. It's kind of like my style, and a lot of people, especially with the shot where she first comes over here, it's also about this looks like Beavis from Beavis and Butthead, which I've not watched, but I have seen them. So I'm not really happy about that kind of feedback, and do worry about my illustrations and my drawings not really looking perfect, which is fine, because I think if it doesn't look perfect, it's more interesting. So, but I do have the aesthetic styles, which is shown on the blog as well. Overall with the animatic, really happy with it apart from the sound. wasn't originally actually going to put sound in, but I started editing it. And at this point here with the music, I was able to get my friend to do the music for me, and luckily he was able to send me a sample quite quickly, which is really good, really reliable musician. And the music really fits, and it did really seem quite depressing. It is a really depressing time. Even though she's home, she's going to be really happy, but she's not. It's kind of portrays that kind of, well, wasn't she looked kind of more happy at the UK, which she probably was. But overall, I'm really happy with the animatics. I think I will mainly do quite a lot with animatics. It was kind of go overboard and go a little bit too far with it and put too much animation into it than I should. So I think really the animatic to me is the last, even though after the animatic sometimes the animations can look completely different compared to the animatic. I know some people's can, and really it's kind of the last bit before the green light, so that I can put whatever I'm putting in there, so that people can go, no, I'll take that out. What about if you put this in? That sound doesn't work. So it's the last bit of feedback before you really go into the actual start of the production. So I tried to put as much as I can in there. Also with this brief, I think I've gone out a little bit too far as well, which suffers other modules and other animations, which is something I've really got to start learning and start sorting out feasibility. Will this work? Is this too much time? Because I do forget how long this will take. And also it could be that the fact that this animation by the end of after animating it could in fact be too long. It could be over 2-3 minutes, and I'll have to cut a lot more down, which in the past when I've had to do that, it's not been that great, and you really squash it down if that happens, which I have done in the past. So I think maybe even doing some dope sheets or X sheets as well to kind of plan out movements and seeing if it all works. Also with the transition there, I really like, because it was meant to portray time, so the dissolves kind of portray more time, but time's passed, which is something quite good to put in there. And also colours, where I forgot to put that in, which I forgot to put the brown in here on the house. But I did go into a lot of detail, and it's just an animatic. So I think it probably just kind of ease down on animatics, because it's not the animation. I think I really just kind of wanted, with it being kind of like my first client brief, it was really kind of an importance to me to kind of get it looking really nice and perfect. But with taking a long time as well, it took really long to colour it in, because I thought I could use the paint bucket tool, but unfortunately I couldn't, so I had to hand colour all this in on Photoshop, which was very time consuming. But I wanted it in colour, and the background, originally this background wasn't here. To put it in, as you can tell, it's copy and pasted from the other shot. Here. No, not there. Here. So I've taken these and copied and pasted them. But background's something I want to look at a bit more in animation and understand before going into it. I think this one would be a lot easier in the sense of using the peg bars in Toon Boom, such as the car driving here, and with the baseball game and the football game. The football game here being all animated with pegs, Toon Boom, the baseball game here, and maybe with these characters all having run cycles, it's only about 6 or 7 frames to run with PEG. The same way I did these would be something a lot more easier. I mean, I do quite like that shot, and where this character comes in to slide for a home run. And to me, it kind of, I think that it could actually be used in the final one, and that this shot, to me, digitally, is kind of finished. But with the feedback on it, hopefully, it should be okay. You know, I won't need to do it again. But it's kind of making it look clean, but I think it is nice having different, not perfect, because to me, perfect's boring. If everything's perfect, then everything's the same, and it's not. It's it's boring to me. I'd rather just have it different and intrigue me more. If you see like online CG, people are doing like video game robots, and you're doing something on a video game, and they all look the same, and you do want robots, but they all look the same. It's boring. Never really got much of a great choice, but it's something different, and then it's eye-catching. So I think that's really something that I should have really marked myself down, or put myself down about my illustrations, because they are something quite unique, and it is my own unique style. And this this kind of style would look really good. But overall, I am really happy with the animatic, and do think I did get a little bit too far with it, but overall, really happy. And can't wait to get started on the production, and get some line tests, and have a go at cut-out animation as well, which really explore, because with this degree we've only got 1 year left after this, and I just feel like I haven't explored everything, but I think that's something that will just happen to me throughout life, and animation is just, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to have a go doing this, see if this will work. What about if, I don't know, I kind of get a bag full of liquid, for example, and kind of pixelate water for the sea, or just something to just experiment more with animation for my projects. So that's something I feel with animation that I mean, I guess throughout life doing animation you'd always have that. But to me, I keep having it in my head that no, before I leave, before I go into actual industry, I want to experiment and go crazy with loads of different things and just try things out and just have a go at finding my style, seeing what I like more. If mainstream really isn't what I want, or if experiment's more me, or clash between the two. So yeah, I think not really with this brief, but in general, well, with this brief I could have a go. It depends if the client would want it, but experiment more with aesthetics, technical approaches, because it would be really nice and different to see. And also because this is going to children, and for teachers to kind of show children what happened to women in the war. I think having a silent film with music is something quite good for kids to kind of see, because they get so caught up with animation being dialogue and all the Disney mainstream stuff, that having a silent animated film is something quite unique. I think it's good that it should be portrayed out there to audiences a lot more. Overall, really happy with the animatic. Still I went way too far with it, but overall, really happy, and hopefully I can sort out the sound, such as that. But overall, really happy with it.